to the world. Good vibes, laughter and shout outs, show it to the world. Always follow the footsteps of our Lord. All roads that I shall walk on, sowing seeds of peace. This light that keep us shining will be brighter and brighter. Will be brighter and brighter. Will be brighter and brighter.
Sing this song along with me. Just open up your hearts. Feel harmony and peace inside yourself. Life is a great school, teaching always to do good. Learning that in order to be happy, we need to help. Learning to accept that everyone deserves respect. Uniting all their hearts with a gesture of affection. Finding our happiness will be spreading joy. There is no other way. Charity is the solution. Only one love, only one ideal. So in love and peace in the world, conquer us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear, and the world will be in peace. Sing this song along with me. Just open up your hearts. Feel harmony and peace inside yourself. Life is a great school, teaching always to do good. Learning that in order to be happy, we need to help. Learning to accept that everyone deserves respect. Uniting all their hearts with a gesture of affection. Finding our happiness will be spreading joy. There is no other way. Charity is the solution. Only one love, only one ideal. So in love and peace in the world, conquer us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear, and the world will be in peace. Only one love, only love ideal. So in love and peace in the world, conquer us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear, and the world will be in peace.
When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate our ways, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate our ways, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart and charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades flow down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in our goal. The solution lies in our goal. Oh, my mother's Ephrina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make yours, my son, a good Christian. Make yours, my son, a good Christian. Oh, Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that comes through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action. Now I understand. Helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all these transformations, we just have to put love in action.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30-minute presentation followed by a Q&A. Following the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. And now we have a special invitation for those who want to learn more about Spiritism. Get to Know Spiritism is an online and free course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. The next class will be on this Saturday, May 14th, and the theme will be Prayer and Gospel at Home, a very special topic this week. So if you are interested in joining, please use the link for the registration that will be posted in the chat. We also have another invitation for this week, and it will be on May 14th, Saturday at 10 a.m. East, our 2022 Spiritist Online Event International Workshop. And it will be delivered in different languages, such as Portuguese, English, Italian, French, and Spanish. So if you are interested in learning more about this event and register, please go to the website in the screen, which is www.concafrasglobal.com, to make your registration and get more information. We also would like to invite you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from the Spiritism Canada and Spiritist group Paths of Light. And now we will get started with the opening prayer, and I invite everyone to join me in this prayer. Let's close our eyes and calm our hearts, elevating our thoughts to our Master Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity to be here tonight. Opportunity to learn more about your teachings of love and kindness. We would like to ask for your blessings and protection for all the work that will be done tonight. We trust that you will be with us today and always. So be it. So the topic of today's meeting will be Jesus, the Doctor of Souls. And it's in the chapter 6, The Consoling Christ, items 7 and 8. and it will be facilitated by our sister Denise from London, Ontario. We also would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Concafras Americas through their Facebook, and will also be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. East by Kardec Radio through their Facebook. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will be addressing the questions at the end of the talk. And now I would like to invite tonight's speaker. Welcome, Denise.
Hi. Hi, Larissa. Thank you so much for the introduction. Good night, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here talking about such an interesting topic, right? Jesus, the Doctor of Souls. So I'm going to share my screen. So I think now you guys are seeing everything okay, right? So let's start. When we think about Jesus, the Doctor of Souls, I think that we need, first of all, thinking about how the Spiritism presents Jesus, right? He was presented by the Spiritism doctrine as this master, right, that was committed to the education of the souls on the earth. He's the governor of the planet Earth for many years. He knows each one of us, our potential, our strengths, and also our weakness. So during the brief time that he came on earth, he knew exactly and all the spirits that reincarnate on this planet, and he knew the best place. He knew which one would be the ones that he would be having interaction. Everything was planned, so he could do the best he could to use that moment as a moment really to plant the seeds, to really use the earth soil to plant the seeds of all the laws that we have within us, but we needed his light in order to help us as this master that he is, how we could evolve, how we could look at him and see that even though he's far, far away, evolution is speaking from us, it's something that we should aim for and that we need to work in towards our progress to reach that. Right.
Excuse me,
So having that in
Denise.
mind,
Just a minute. The slides is not being shared. If you can.
no.
No, it's not appearing for us.
Let me try there. Okay. Let me see. Now is okay.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Now we are good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So to start, let's go to this passage brought to us by the Spirit of Truth, where it says, "I'm the great doctor of souls, and I have come to bring you the medicine that shall heal them. The frail, the suffering, and the infirm are my blessed children, and I have come to save them." So it's this, when he came here, he came as to show the way. He came as not only showing, but he lived through the pains. He lived the problems that we always have to face in our incarnations or even in discarnate spirits, right? When he came to earth, he was betrayed by his friends. He was, people called him a liar. He was, there are so many things that he went through that is similar to things that we need to face in our daily life. So he went through this path so he could show, like, look how I'm going through it. And we could, like, try to see that as the guidelines that we should be following, right? Of course, we can compare Jesus to our psychological level, right? Because it's really hard still for us to contemplate how big he is. Jesus doesn't fit within us. It is like if we try to put the ocean inside a cup of water. So this is kind of the comparison. If we try to really understand all the the entirety of Jesus, it's impossible for us in the level that we are, right?
Denise,
Which
Denise, just a
hello?
second. So you have, so you're sharing your not the full slides, so it's not moving. So try to share the slideshow.
Okay.
So click the slideshow.
Um, like from here.
So in the bottom, you have a slideshow that you can click, then you can move. So you're probably sharing your notes,
I was
not.
sharing my window. So
Okay,
let
so
me
I
try
can
again. Share.
see the slides on the sides and didn't move.
Okay.
So if you click in the full screen presentation there, like slideshow, what's happened?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Like when I click on share here, shows slides. If I click on it, shows you have no slides. It's like I need to upload a
So go to
file,
share screen,
share.
and then you see the screen that you want to share.
Okay, I'm going to stop share screen. Okay, share screen. It's showing entire screen window.
So try. So you have
To
one
share.
screen or two.
I have one.
So if you share the entire screen, you're gonna only see your slides, not gonna see us. If you share window, you have to put your slide in the presentation mode and
Yeah.
share the window in the presentation mode.
Okay. Now it's better.
So I think what you have to do is just keep moving the slide by yourself. So because we
Okay.
still see all your slides side by side, so the side slides in there, so which means you're not doing the full screen
Yeah,
sharing.
because for me it's showing as full screen. Yeah.
It, maybe you're sharing the other window. When you see share screen, do you see how many screens?
Let me see. I try to share just my share screen. I can try to share entire screen.
See what happened if you share the entire screen.
How it's now?
Now it's working.
Is okay now?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, so just thinking about that, if we think about Jesus and everything that he is, it's hard for us because we have a tendency to compare with ourselves. But as I mentioned, if we try to compare Jesus to us, it's the same that if we try to put the whole ocean inside a cup of water, it is still something that is far away from what we can really comprehend, right? But we need to look at him as this master, right? Uh, that it was lovable, that treat us with affection, but that is teaching us this path of redemption. And that was the main thing that he came here was to show us this path, to be with us, to hold our hands and see, hey, I went through this, and this is a path that you guys will need to follow, right? And here we have another sentence saying, therefore, come to me, you who suffer and who are overburdened, and you will be soothed and consoled. Do not look elsewhere for strength and consolation, for the world is unable to provide them. So when we say this, doctor title to Jesus, we think always about the health aspect, right? All the healings that he performed during his years on earth. In the book Genesis, the Spiritist like Kardec goes into details about all these miracles that Jesus performed, and actually trying to show that even though we don't have still today all the knowledge to completely understand what happened, and all the phenomena that Jesus was able to perform to provide these healing effects in so many people, is still something that the science will be able to explain. But during these years, he was here and he performed all these healing effects. But even the ones, we know all this person that had these interactions with him and were contemplated by these healings, they were kind of probably in their reincarnation plan. These are spirits that are coming and they had that opportunity to meet Jesus and have that moment of um, feel healed and feel like they feel good again. They don't feel the disease anymore in their bodies. But if you think um, about the whole path that Jesus did, he was during all the moments that he was on earth, he was followed by these sick people. Was the miserable, was the sick, was the abandoned. These were the one that his words touched the most. And that's why these healings also were performed in these um, in these spirits, in these humans. But if we also think about these phenomena, even the ones that were contemplated by these healing effects, they also sometimes some of them, their histories that they got sick again. Because if you think about the disease is basically not only a matter of the body, but the soul. So the moment that they had that encounter with Jesus and all Jesus' energy, they're able to elevate their thoughts. They're able to have that moment of faith, to believe in Jesus, to get cured. But like once this gets away and they don't have that interaction anymore, they don't get themselves maintaining their thoughts in this good level, the disease came back to their body, right? And this is something that we can see right now as the world going through the pandemic. There is this collective thoughts, right? The fear, the anger, the anxiety, all of these things together, they really put our state of mind in a position that sometimes even science these days can check that these feelings, these thoughts can put our immunological system in a lower level, what can contribute for us to get more disease, right? So the way that we are feeding these thoughts and the way that we try and should keep maintaining our thoughts in a good space and try to be positive is something really important in this feeling and in this healing process. So many of these spirits that encounter Jesus, they were cured in that moment, and then after a few months, sometimes years, the disease came back because they were not able to really do the transformation within themselves and do the transformation in their souls, right? So, and besides that, if we think about even the ones that were able to remain the whole incarnation health, they still died, right? Because it's important that we can think about that is this natural course that we have to go, right? Emmanuel says in one of his books, the kingdom of heaven doesn't come with external appearances because the human eyes could only contemplate what is dead or will die. What I understood from this sentence is that everything we see in our as incarnated or even as discarnated is in a process that will lead to its death, right? If you think about our physical bodies, plants, animals, construction, our planet, all of these are in a process that could end up and will end up this death. But yeah, we can also think about these big civilizations that we had on Earth. If we think about the Egyptians, the Mayans, so big civilizations, and they vanished and they just left behind ruins and relics, nothing else. So nothing in our physical world is permanent. Everything passes. And the law of this destruction fulfill its objective, that is to enforce the law of progress. So we know now is this process of regeneration, all these collective things like pandemics and other things that we're going to need to face together, they come through the law of destruction in a way that could help the law of evolution, the law of progress to happen. So the progress happens with the death because it's only after the death that we have the rebirth. And Jesus, he teaches us that as well. When he came, that he discarnate, he was able to come back in his spirit and show life goes on. This is just a transitory moment that you all are going through, and you should believe in yourselves and commit yourselves to this transformation, to this rebirth. And only when we accept that, we will be really understanding a little bit more about all the laws that govern our universe, right? Because if there is one law, there is uh, also very connected to this is the law of love. And in the moment that we understand that God loves for us is something that is completely unquestionable. And we decide to really believe in this love, to really have this love inside our hearts, we are able to accept this death, accept the destruction part, and understand this as a path for this law of progress. Here it says, be docile before the spirits of the Lord. Invoke him from the depths of your heart, and then he will send you his beloved Son to teach you and say these good words. I am here. I have come to you because you have called me. So there is this need, as I told, the acceptance of this love, the accepting of this reality that Jesus teaches with so with a beautiful uh, as this beautiful master, right? He went through all his ordeals, always bringing kindness, always sharing love, always looked to everyone that was there, surround him, sometimes challenging him, not able to understand his lessons. And he had the patience, he had all the love, the benevolence, the way to look at these people and make them feel this love, make to strengthen this connection, and reminding them that it's not about like the love between us, but the love of God that has for all of us. Um, I'd like to tell uh, a little bit like this is a base for the main history that I want to tell today. So there is a book from Andrea Luiz called Action and Reaction. And there is a very interesting part that connects a lot about the diseases and these problems that we face in our bodies and our souls. There is a moment that Andrea Luiz and Silas, there is like the mentor of Andrea Luiz during this moment, they are visiting a man that is being obsedized by his own ankles. So the family history is that the father of uh, this man that was still incarnate that they were trying to help, he killed his own brothers because of money. So because of that, the spirit of his the ankles of these spirits were oxidizing this spirit very heavily. And André Luiz and Silas were making several visits trying to help. And André Luiz thought that was really interesting because Silas, he was not going to these spirits that was doing the obsession. He was not going to them trying to, hey, don't do that, this is bad. He started just talking to them. And every day he went there and he started to talk. And there is a moment that this spirit, he says something that is very important for us as spiritists to understand, because this lesson is very, very um, valuable. It's like this obsessor that we could look as, oh, if it's a obsessor, it's because it's not a good spirit, is someone that maybe doesn't have a good value. But this obsessor will bring a very interesting lesson to us. When there is this moment that Silas asked them, I would like to know, um, from the obsessor Leonel, he asked him, how are you able to access his mind? So they are trying to help this man, and they ask Leonel, how are you able to access the mind of that spirit? How are you able to make this obsession be so effective? And then he answers as the following. He says that everyone, besides their immediate wishes, have a principal goal. So during the day, I want to drink water, I want to do this, I want to do that. These are immediate wishes that we have as an incarnate body. We have our needs, we have things that we do, and we do like in automate mode. But within us, we have this working goal, this principal goal. It's like a basic theme that comes back in our thoughts and comes back frequently in our thoughts. And it's like this is this most intimate wish that we have is within us. And with this central wish, it's something that us work for. It's something that we have in us and we work for it. We issue more frequently the thoughts that origins from this central wish. So it's the one that we are always like, we do other things, but it's come back. We do and come back, come back. During the day, we probably have thoughts about this central wish several times a day, right? And when a spirit is able to understand that, because he will see this inner thought as a reflex in our personality. So we emit these thoughts that is in our central wish, right? And that creates this mental circuit, because then I'm connecting to people that also has a similar thought than I have. In this case that they discuss in the book, the main wish of the obsedized spirit was to have financial gains. So he had, the central wish was to be prosperous, to have money, to be successful, to be financial uh, rich. And this was the kind of main inner wish that he had. And what they say is that once you are able to access that, this is the it's very easy to know the nature of the person, the nature of anyone in any plate through the work and position they choose to live. This is why, for example, they say the cruelty is the reflex of the criminal, the greed is the reflex of the usurer, the evil speaker is the reflex of the slanderer, the mockery is the reflex of the ironist, the irritation is a reflex of the unbalanced. Once we know the reflex of the creature that we want to rectify or punish, then they can boost that. So, what they see, you have that weakness, and what they do, they blow it, they feed these thoughts. So, that spirit that was aiming for the financial gain, these obsessors, they were feeding more, they were like giving even more reasons for him to be thinking about that thing more and more and more, right? So he was overfeeding this spirit with excitations. They were strengthening what is already present in their thoughts. There is nurturing their mental fixation. So we need to also consider that while we are incarnate, we are in this kind of days. Due to that, most of the times we don't know the real reason we do things. We keep doing things in this automatic mode. Now, oh, life is fast. We need to do this. We create routines and we just follow through them, right? So it's something that it's inherent to our evolution is to learn how to slow down, how to stop and understand and put an intent in the actions that we have. And this is the first step that we need to reach, one of the first steps for our transformation. Because when we do things in this automated mode, uh, that's when this we connect to these thoughts, we do things without intention, and that's when like we make most of the mistakes. Because then oh, I did it again, I did it again, I did it again. And we think, but why I'm doing this? It's because we are not putting the intent, we are not able really to connect. And this is what brings so many, this is one of the like the main reasons, the main diseases of our soul is the fact that we are not able to contemplate, not able to stop, not able to assess and do the things that we have to do with the intent. We need to find this and try to break this cycle, right? So, um, and also to learn that the obsessor, for example, in this history and other histories, it's not like they are putting that thought inside of us. They are just boosting something that we already have. They are not bringing a new element and say, okay, from now on, Denise, I want you to think just about this. No, they read what we have within us. They see in the reflex that we are showing them in our attitudes, and they are just feeding, overfeeding, boosting. So we could like create this huge mental block that avoid us to break the circuit, right? When we feel this love for God and we understand and we see as here, like He's here. When Jesus say, "I'm here, I have come to you because you have called me," right? It's because God is here and He's here all the time. But we need really to begin our healing, feeling this love that God dedicates to us. Because when we really understand and embrace this truth, that's when we stop to feel guilt, we stop to complain, and we start to commit to work on our transformation, right? If we think, for example, so many beautiful Christians that did amazing transformation journeys during their incarnation on earth, they had to put the guilt aside. They had to overcome this feeling. Imagine, for example, Paul of Tarsus. Imagine if after he realized that, oh, Jesus is the true and it's the path that I should follow. Imagine if he's spending his time saying, "Oh my gosh, I killed Christians, I persecuted them. How could I have done that? Oh my gosh, what I have done." And he focused his energy feeding this and putting himself in this situation. He's not able to do the transformation and the work that he have to, right? So it's something that these examples, these transformations really help us to embrace and understand that sometimes we get so focused on problems and we are not able to put this guilt aside and say, what can I do better? How can I put intent into my actions? How can I stop to feed these bad thoughts, to repeat these behaviors if we and need really to commit to the work and put my actions into the work, right? So when we think about the history of Paul of Tarsus, it's a very clear example for us. He came from a background of persecute, of challenge, and go uh, in a way completely against everything that Jesus was telling him, to have that moment of encounter and once he felt inside of him, this is the truth that I should be following, he didn't waste his time. He really went through it. He really committed himself to that, right? If we think about uh, Mary Magdala, for example, she was someone that was living even a more, uh, let's say, a life that was even more challenged to get away from. Because Paul of Tarsus, even though he did all these persecutions of Christians, he was someone with a strong faith. Of course, in the beginning, he had the faith in the Judaism that was not into Jesus' teachings, but he just changed his focus to Jesus. He was already in that. If we think about Magdalene, she was not in that case. She was living a life completely different. She was living in prostitution. She was living something that was not even religions related. She had a lot of guilt within her. There is a beautiful passage in the book Boa Nova. There, I don't know if it's translated to English, Good News, but in this book, it's very clear when she talks to Jesus and she asks him, like, God will forgive me for the life I used to have. And when Jesus gives her the answer saying yes, he loves you no matter what. She even says like, because she knows she cannot be a mother, and Jesus say, "You do you think that a mother that takes care of other women's sons are less mother than the ones that has the blood relation?" So he gives all these ideas, and once she embraced that, her transformation is amazing. Like, it's so important. Her figure and her transformation was so truthful that she is the one that Jesus appeared, because he knew, Jesus knew from all the disciples, even from his mother, she was the one that believed him the most. So she was a person that he chose to appear to after his discarnate, right? So it's so important for us to look into ourselves, to look into these teachings, to look into these dialogues that Jesus had, and look the characters that he shows to have these special bonds, right? It's really amazing how he was able to teach in every moment that he was here. He was putting effort to make us see through his actions how we should be acting, how we should be learning. Right? God consoles the humble and gives the strength to the afflicted who ask for it. God's power covers the earth, and everywhere besides that air, he places a consoling balm. So we can see in all his laws, as I mentioned, even laws of destruction, laws that causes uh, suffering. But we see that the destruction is necessary in order for the law of progress to come, and the rebirth and the chance to go and try again. This is an important cycle that we go through, with the chance to do better, with the chance to commit each day a little bit more. Take these two words as your motto: devotion and self denial, and you will be strong, for they summarize all the duties that charity and humility impose on you. So we know is this faith. The devotion is really to accept God's plans, to understand that we are instrument inside uh, His creation, to be helping others. Is our option if we're going to be the one helping or the one causing causing problems, right? And um, I think every time I read self-denial, it's something that is so different from the Portuguese to the English, because I think self-denial is so much stronger as a word, right? But if we think self-denial as more like this charity, to donate yourself to others, I don't even think we should think about the deny ourselves, but like how can we be there for others as well? And understand that our path is still in a collective way. We need to think that we cannot go in our path alone. We need really to donate ourselves, to embrace others, to hold hands. not only family members, but everybody that we have these encounters that comes to our lives sometimes looking just for a gesture, just for a smile. It's important that we can try to put ourselves in as a spiritist, as someone that is willing to help and is willing to get out of our way to help someone. This is really important. The sentiment of a duty fulfilled with provided resignation and rest for your spirit. The heart beats better, the soul becomes serene, and the body is no longer feeble, because the body suffers all the more depending on how deeply the spirit is struck. So the more we try to hold into these bad habits, into these bad behaviors, the longer we'll suffer. In the moment that we try to get light, we try to let it go, and we really understand and connect ourselves with this love that God is sending us always, every day, every second. That's when we can really make the difference and break these thoughts and change the central wishes that we have, right? And we can try to modulate that and try to bring this central vision, these thoughts that we have along our days, into a better and positive vibe. So, thank you very much. I was a little bit over. We are open for questions now. So, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay.
Hi, Denise. Thank you so much for your talk today. It was an amazing topic, an amazing presentation. Yes, we have a couple of questions. Just a moment. Here, this is the first one from Publio. He's asking, so Jesus is not only doctor of our soul, but also our body too?
Yeah, if we think that the body is basically the diseases that we have in our body is an expression of the diseases that we have within ourselves. The moment that we treat our body sometimes is not enough because then we can have recurrences because the root of the diseases is within ourselves, is within our thoughts, is within our behaviors, is these feelings that we decide to feed, right? So if we think, okay, we have anger and we feed our anger, it's just going to get more and more. And the anger brings, we know, like even as a matter of fact, someone with more anger has heart problems because the heart rates are always higher. We have more cortisol in our body. We have like these physical ripple effects that will cause diseases, sometimes not immediate, but the long term. So all these
Mhm.
feelings that has the roots in our diseases that are in our souls are causes of this disease that we have. So it's important that we think that Jesus' teachings is not only about our soul, but our body too. The moment we can understand this and we treat our soul, for sure our body, we also be having the benefits of that.
Everything is connected, right? Like our
Yeah.
mental, our physical, and our spiritual body. Everything
And
is
sometimes
really
it's so easy
connected.
just to focus on what we have in our body, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's looking for a pill, like give me the medicine how many times a week and I'll get better. But the hard work is this one within our soul, is this inner transformation that we all need to go through.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another one. Oops, sorry. From Rodrigo Gomez. How can we have a closer relationship with God, be more aware of His presence in our lives, and have fewer influences from our problems and vices, and be more inspired by Him?
Yeah,
A
this
big
I
question.
think is yeah, it's a big question. It's really nice question because I think it is trying to get Jesus' teachings. It's really looking because this relationship with God, Jesus came to show this is the way, this is the path. So once we can put more ourselves, look really more into Jesus' teachings and how he dealt with that, because
Mhm.
it's something that he went through. As I told, he was betrayed. He went to many problems that we face, and it's kind of our worst fears in life. Like, oh, I'm not really. It's be betrayed. It's be abandoned. It's being. These feelings are very like of rejection,
Mhm.
because in the end, everything is connected. Everybody wants to be loved,
Yeah.
right? So when
Mhm.
we have these moments that we are having these fears in the we feel it stopping us, is really looking to, like, really go to the Bible, go to the gospel according to Spiritism, and look. jesus, Jesus went to something similar, probably, you
Mhm.
know. He went to something really similar. So it's important for us, and I think this is a good way, is really to first of all, I think prayer. This relationship with God, it really depends on our prayers and our commitment. So anytime I feel, at least it's something that I try to do for myself, that I'm getting lost and I'm letting bad thoughts uh,
Mhm.
occur more often, is okay. Stop everything. Let's do a prayer. Let's ask for help. You know, our guardian angels. We know we have a whole spiritual team on the other side, trying to give support to us. But we need at least to try to turn on the radio. I don't
Yeah.
even say that we are
Mhm.
finding the right frequency right now, but let's turn it on the radio at least. Let's say, hey, somebody come here. I need help. And when we do that, we can avoid these influences as well, and try and strengthen this relationship with God, the prayer, and really this understanding that Jesus is the light. He is there, and anytime you are feeling uh, bad and or guilt or discouraged, we need
Mhm.
to turn the light on. And this light is Jesus' teachings. It's go there. Sometimes you can feel, I'm not in the mood, but go, read, open randomly the Gospel according to Spiritism, open randomly the Spiritist book, even Janet, open up like book novel. We have so many good titles.
Mhm.
Uh, Grab a good book, open randomly, read a message. You don't even need to think, overthink, just in the moment. Sometimes you can read out loud just
Mhm.
to try to put yourself really into that, also helps. So, and each person needs to create this mechanism. Sometimes you need to call a friend, say, hey, I'm not feeling bad, I'm calling you, I really need to hear something good, please help me. And really, yeah, accept the support, and know that sometimes you will be the person needing to give support. And sometimes happen, you are in a bad day and someone calls you, and you know that person is a good thing, and you put your first face and say, okay, I'm going. Yeah, you cannot feel this way. I'm feeling the same, but we need to keep strong.
No, it's such an amazing topic today, and I really love the story about the André Luiz and his mentor. That is
Yeah,
really important for us to be
yeah, this valuable
mindful,
is we
right?
have, each of us, we have this like
It's
central
everything
team
is
inside of
inside,
us.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, that reflects in our life, and that's how these spirits get connected. Look what she's doing, so I know what she has
yeah.
within that, you know, and they create these connections, and it is that shows up in our bodies. I didn't have time, so I cut short, but like um, Mary Magdalene, she is very interesting because she has this encounter that we can read on Boa Nova with
Hmm.
Jesus, and she really commits to this transformation. As I told, like she is one of the early Christians that did, I think, the biggest flip, because
Hmm.
like if you think Paul of Tarsus, he had faith. He was kind of in the middle of the way, and then he connected to Jesus. She was here. She was completely in a completely different vibe and energy, and she did a completely 360 in order to fulfill and understand uh, the reality of the true love. And in the end of her life, uh, she end up like helping sick people. So
Hmm.
these are, she says, like she couldn't be a mother, but she decided to adopt and help, and she ended up getting oh, I don't know in English, but lepra.
Hmm.
And in the end of her life, she's very sick. She's on the streets, nobody helping her, nobody looking at her. And when she discarnates, Jesus is there touching her.
Wow.
Jesus came for her discarnation moment. And
Yeah.
like when I read this passage, it's so emotional
Mm-hmm.
because he says to her, like, you did the true transformation. You did
Mm-hmm.
everything you, and I think that it's something that we could carry within us is, am I really doing everything I could? Am I really doing the commitment that
Mm-hmm.
I should do? Or am I just trying to postpone and getting this comfort zone of this easy life that we try to create, that in the end is not easy. It's just like dealing with the same problems and repeating and feel like because we know them it's okay, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not. And I think that for her to discarnate and have Jesus there telling her she did everything,
Mm-hmm.
there's like it's mission accomplished, right?
Mission accomplished.
So
Yeah.
I think that for us, we know even if we're able to change one bad habit, one bad inclination that we have in a lifetime, is already mission accomplished. So it just like we don't need think, oh, I'm going to be no, we're not going to be Jesus in the end of this incarnation for sure. But we can create these goals and look within us and bring the central theme to a more inspirational, like look to Jesus, at least like look to him. I remember I grew up as a Catholic, and there is this music that
Mm-hmm.
is in Portuguese, but say, uh, "Let's love as Jesus loved, let's be as Jesus was." So, amar como Jesus amou, sonhar como Jesus sonhou. So, dream like Jesus dreamed. So, it's really important for us to feel that we have this power, we have our free will.
Yeah.
No one, like we can't blame anyone when we disconnect. Even the obsessor, as I mentioned, he's just playing with things that we think us. They are not
They're not
like
inventing
we
anything,
cannot
right?
even blame
And,
them,
and
you know?
usually it's us that gives the openness for them to come near, right? So
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, we
Thank
are
you
the
so
ones.
much.
They are
Thank
just
you.
seeing what we do.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Denise. I think, like, at least for me, I needed to hear this today. And thank you all for the comments and questions in the chat. Um, Now we are going to move on to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. PES is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PESs help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from PESs, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the PES, the water that you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. We will now make a prayer in preparation of the PES, which will be our closing prayer as well. Let's close our eyes once again and elevate our thoughts to our Master Jesus and to the friendly spirits that are here with us tonight. Thank you, Lord, for this great talk today. May everyone start applying what they learn with us today in their daily lives. And may we receive all the benefits of the spiritual treatment that will start soon. We also would like to ask your protection and your blessing for the week that we have ahead. May you be with us today, tomorrow, and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The path begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the Zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water.
May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
I would like to thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Conference Americas at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Have a good night.
Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, mate, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark hole place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark hole place. No more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark hole place. No more fear, no more fight. Let the sun on the way shine, shine. Let the sun